This episode of whatever the hell this channel is called now is brought to you by Bedrock Bennies. You got a project you've been putting off for 14 years? Need to pull an all-nighter to get it done? Or maybe you just want to DJ the night away at Kings Island and wake up next to the Funky Phantom. Whatever your kink, doesn't matter what you think, get a fistful of Bedrock Bennies. Do we recommend you snort them? Yes, we yabba dabba goddamn do. Hanna Barbera's Turbotoons is a game I previously reviewed back in 2011 as part of the Whenever the Hell Reviewer Contest. And despite winning and earning some sweet Earthbound perler art that I still have to this day, the victory would soon turn sour when Guru Larry himself popped up to basically say,
"I can't believe you won without doing any research. The game is an unreleased prototype, created by Atlas. It was even featured on the UK game show Gamesworld."
He's a loser, gentlemen. Take him away.
So I chalked it up to choosing an unreleased game that barely had any content. I felt ashamed. I stepped away for a few years. But then the YouTuber SNESdrunk reviewed Turbotoons.
At the title screen, you're supposed to press select instead of start. Select brings you to all the game options, and start just sticks you right into a race. If you didn't know any better, you'd think that's all this game is.
You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens when people play Turbotoons for the first time? This is what happens!
And I would very much like to thank Peebs SNES on Twitter for taking the time to upload the instruction book. And since I review the games from the perspective of the little fat kid who rented it over the weekend, chances are the last kid who rented the game wiped his ass with the instruction book. Because here's what the manual itself says about the menu.
Press select on the attract screen for options. Press start to race.
This was all they had to do. Weights are training. The flag is single race, which is basically training. The cloud is a battle mode that I will not be playing because none of my friends wanted to play this trash. That's the Grand Prix mode, which features 3 different cups, with one secret cup to be revealed after the previous 3 are beaten. I went with Hong Kong Phooey again, mostly because I love Scatman Crothers, and I assume if any character can mop up the competition, it'd be the janitor.
Custodian, dick.
So with this newfound knowledge, I actually found myself able to compete. Dare I say it, I managed to hypnotize myself into having a little bit of fun with this piece of shit. The game also includes a stat boosting system, which is needlessly cryptic and deep for a game like this. The white ones are the only ones that matter, because they're the only ones that carry over and permanently boost your character's stats. If you collect a black diamond, a rain cloud appears above your head, and the game doesn't allow you to pick up any crystals. But if you want to get rid of the virus, just like real life, just thrust into somebody else.
I will give you my aid!
The first 3 cups aren't all that difficult, but for some reason at the end of every league, there lies a tombstone with my initials on it. Beating the first 3 leagues unlocks Augie Doggy's Bowl, and this is where the learning curve spikes right up your ass because Yogi Bear kept getting a head start while everyone else gangbanged each other at the starting line. So I opted for Quick Draw McGraw, who ends up being the fastest character because of course he is, he's a goddamn horse. And the music isn't helping. Last time, I compared it to Wesley Willis. And I take it back. This just sounds like some fentanyl addict playing a synthesizer with his feet. And when you suddenly have stages like this, it will drive you insane. The foreground obscures characters. Stage hazards will knock you off course. And for some reason, whenever I manage to win, the crowd boo me. I beat the Augie Doggy Bowl, I got murdered again for my trouble, but where are the credits? Well, it turns out there's a final secret cup. The Captain Caveman Cup. When he's not taking his hose out to the movies, he's running illegal foot racing competitions. I spent hours trying to beat this cup. It got so bad that I actually tried to find cheats just so I could finish the game and see the ending. I was given one. This code freezes your character in their signature pose. It does nothing else, but it does make the game easier. And I think it's because it makes the characters feel and drive more like cars. Brainwashing. And some of the tracks are so crossed up, it is so easy to go in the wrong direction. And if you do, the game will kick you all the way back to last place. And this game has a 4-player functionality. Can you imagine 4 kids playing this stage? I just wanted to win by points so I could get this over with. And somehow I did, only to be confused even more by the ending. Well played! The world is safe again because of your heroic efforts. You will never be forgotten. I didn't even know the world was in danger. Is this why in the Atlas American prototype that we thankfully never got over here? Is that the reason it says Maniac at Large in the paper? Did I get my throat cut after winning the race and Yogi Bear felt bad and buried me? What the fuck? How else do you explain the headstone? I'm overjoyed to have finally beaten this game, because not only does the game give me a brand new song with farty trumpets, I now know exactly who to blame. Well, Aid, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Your game is gutter trash. And of course, the lead playtester would be a Chad. And everybody knows you don't hire a Chad to do your nerd shit. The music was created by someone who had the balls to call themselves Champy the Amazing. The Resident Evil basement theme is superior to the entire turbotoons soundtrack. At least that composer had the balls to pretend he was deaf. And I do not even want to know what this means. But finally, this comes up. Play pinball! You know it makes sense! And when you discover that Aid Barrett and Champy the Amazing, also known as Richard Horrocks, developed Mario Pinball Land, yeah, it does make sense. That's why that game sucked ass too. You may be saying,
Oh, don't be so harsh. They did their best.
yeah, well, explain these false claims from the back of the game's box.
Move over, Mario Kart. Your days are numbered.
If there was ever a perfect time to use this picture. So now you see why it took me so long to re-review this game. And a lot has happened in those 14 years. Ricochet Rabbit became my landlord and sponsor. I mean, check out the eyebrows. He's the healthiest bunny I know. Captain Caveman managed to quit the pimping business and score a job with the angry video game nerd himself. But after 14 years, I can finally say that this game has faced the music. And if it was your last name, you'd do the exact same goddamn thing too.